This is my 1986 BMW E30. It started its life off as a E model with diving board bumpers. Then somebody upgraded them to the good looking bumpers and upgraded the whole car to I gear. So it's got the I engine and transmission and rear end. So it's a E30E that's been converted and restored, completely restored. This car's been completely repainted. Everything's been done to it at one point in its life with all I gear. And so the problem I'm having today is my fuel pump has been screaming. My external fuel pump, luckily. It's just been screaming lately, and then I started to have some sputtering the other day heading from Charlotte back to Greensboro. You can see this is kind of what the car looks like. And here, let's crank it, get it into position. I like to put my sun guard, living in the south, and the sun hits my car just right. Trying to save a dash. All right, Lucas, watch out, you're not rolling. So I'm gonna put in a new fuel pump and put in a new fuel filter in a little bit here. Yeah, I think I'll take it for a ride and see if I can get it to scream for you. So I took my E30 for a quick spin and I could not get the fuel pump to make the squealing noise. And one thing that made me think about is a lot of times when the squealing happens is between my commute between Charlotte and Greensboro, North Carolina. It's about an hour-and-a-half drive. I'm cruising roughly 80 miles an hour. Most of the time on the highway, it's pretty much all highway driving except for maybe 15 minutes. And that's when it really screams. So it really makes me think it's when it's heating up and get going. It didn't scream while I was out driving or squeal or whatever you want to call it, but it did have loss of power twice, where it just, you threw you forward, giving it gas, and then it just cleared right up. So I'm pretty sure it's the pump that's slowly going bad. I'm gonna start replacing it now and give it a shot and see what happens. All right, today we're gonna be using a Bentley manual. And I'm gonna go through and find the chapter about the fuel pump and where it should be located. You can find these on our website. The stock number is B04588, or you can just find it under BMW. So you can see right here is my fuel pump. I have the type of pump that has the filter somewhere else, so I'm gonna have to locate the filter. It's not a all-in-one system where it's one clamp that holds your fuel filter and your fuel pump. So I'm gonna clamp off this line here and then remove the screw. Luckily the jack just missed it, but there's a screw here I'll have to remove, and this whole assembly will drop down and I'll be able to get to replacing the pump. So here you can see I have the fuel pump and the bracketry that holds it on off. If you look at the Robert Bentley here, it talks about having a fuel clamp from the gas tank into the pump, which I did. I had to clamp that off there to make sure no excess fuel spilled out. I actually had to remove these three screws or nuts here, and then undo the electrical, and it dropped right out. And next I'm going to swap this out, get it ready to go back in the car, and install it back. I don't see any markings on this one to indicate what it is. This one definitely has a Bosch markings on it, and most every Bosch fuel pump I've ever used has had Bosch markings on it, so I'm not sure what this one is. As you can see, they're even casted the same. I mean, they look identical. This could be a knockoff. It's just weird. Like I said before, I've only ever seen Bosch's with Bosch stamped on it. So there you can see it back in the assembly. I'll go put it back in the car. So one thing I definitely got wrong was the fuel filter. I don't have the correct one. I don't know if you can see it down in there, right there. I gotta do some research. I'm used to them being in the back. I don't know why this one is in the front. I don't know if it's because of that's how BMW made the early models, and because this car is kind of a changeover, why it would be up here. But it's definitely a different size than what I ordered, so I'm gonna have to order a new one this week and get the correct one. I'm probably gonna have to take that one out and see the model number on it and just order the exact same one. All right, moment of truth. Let's get a first start. I build up. She built up pressure pretty quick. Looks like she's running pretty good. I really won't know if this solves all my problems until I drive back down to Charlotte and drive it back and see if I have the loss of power or the screaming fuel pump. Right now that fuel pump's a little bit quieter. I don't know if it's quite getting picked up with the mic, but it's a little bit quieter now. So just have to wait and find out. So it's been about a week since I've installed the fuel pump. I've had zero problems. I've driven it from Charlotte to Greensboro and back, and no cutting out, no loud noises from the fuel pump, so I'm pretty happy about that. Have a new fuel filter coming in, but hadn't arrived yet, but as soon as it gets here, I'm going to slap it in. If you have any questions about any of the books you saw, the Robert Bentley Shop Manual or the Restoration Guide for the E30, or any books on cars where you want to learn how to work on cars, look us up at midlifeclassiccars.com.